Namaskar.
Namaste.
Welcome to this course on infrastructure asset management. My name is Sudhir Misra.
And my name is Chirag Kothari.
We teach here at the Department of Civil Engineering at IIT Kanpur. It's a pleasure for us to offer to you this course, which is being done under the MOOCs initiative of the Government of India. So, under this course on infrastructure asset management, let's look at examples of infrastructure, a metro rail, highways, ports, the bullet train, which is under construction in India, and the now famous Chenab Bridge. If you look at any of these systems, structures, or things, if you want to call them, you realize that they're all very complex systems comprising several subsystems. So, in a manner of speaking, the infrastructure can be looked upon as a system of systems. That's the kind of thought process that we need to have when we talk of infrastructure asset management. Infrastructure is also characterized by huge investment. It's often publicly controlled or owned. It has a long service life and multiple stakeholders. When we construct the infrastructure, it's all very good. But over time, depending on what the environmental conditions are for that particular structure, it deteriorates. For example, in this slide, we see a concrete structure deteriorating on account of exposure to freezing and thawing and alkali aggregate reaction. Knowledge of the physics of the mechanism of this deterioration is important if we want to do rational asset management. This knowledge also helps us establish inspection procedures and benchmarks for deterioration and performance levels. The expectations from an asset manager includes sustainability. We are expected to maintain structures, manage structures or the infrastructure in a manner that is sustainable, create resilient infrastructure which is adaptive to climate change. We should also make sure that the decision making is not arbitrary and is based on data. This is important, especially given the fact that infrastructure has a very long service life. Infrastructure managers are also supposed to have a perspective on strategic decision making to optimizing benefits and risk-based prioritization and reliability. These are the general principles that govern infrastructure asset management. Now, as far as this course is concerned and its content, I'll invite my colleague, Professor Chirag Kothari, to take you through that.
First, let us discuss why do we need a course around this. Countries, over time, have heavily invested in infrastructure development. However, physical, civil infrastructure deteriorates with time. It leads to reduction in overall performance. Rapid deterioration is often combined with shortage of funds which are available for maintenance and rehabilitation. Thus, there is a need to have efficient infrastructure management practices. Over time, countries are moving towards a matured infrastructure. The focus is starting to shift from constructing new infrastructure to maintaining and rehabilitating it. Thus, there is a need to do capacity building in the area of infrastructure asset management. As engineers and architects, we are at the forefront of creating and maintaining infrastructure. However, the current education system is largely focused on design and construction aspects. Operations and maintenance phase, although important, is often overlooked. Thus, there is a pressing need to create awareness towards comprehensive approach to management of infrastructure assets. We need to acknowledge asset maintenance is key to achieve goals of performance-based design and to create sustainable and resilient infrastructure. Accordingly, this course aims to address the following objectives. This course on Introduction to Infrastructure Asset Management will sensitize and create awareness towards need for comprehensive asset management frameworks. It will discuss strategies to safeguard and extend the intended life of an asset. Moreover, we will get into details of how to develop, organize and implement asset management frameworks which incorporates technical, financial, legal, and environmental considerations. Finally, we will discuss how to implement these principles with the help of a case study on concrete structures. The course content is divided in the following manner. The first 2 weeks will focus on providing an overview of infrastructure asset management. The next 3 weeks, we will get into the details of the appropriate decision framework for infrastructure asset management. Here, we will discuss a generic framework which is applicable for any infrastructure. Week 6 will get into different considerations for asset management like reliability, maintainability, sustainability, and resilience. Finally, the last 2 weeks are focused on maintenance of concrete structures. This is the implementation week where we will discuss how the framework which was discussed in the previous lectures can be used for maintenance of concrete structures. We will get into different details like inspection, performance monitoring, maintenance, and so on.
So as you can see, this course is very wide and we will cover several topics. Those of you who are interested could get into any of those topics and learn a lot more. It is hoped that students from diverse engineering disciplines and architects, practicing engineers and architects from different stakeholders, whether they are owners, contracting companies, or design organizations dealing with infrastructure assets, and policymakers and users will all find the course and the treatment of the subject relevant and thought-provoking. We look forward to being with you in this course. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you.